Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22. It's Classics Puncher, and this is episode 17. We're at Trobro Leon, and I do at least get Leader Outsider today. However, at least currently it's with 0 team support. But we'll make the best of this situation. We do have a +1 on our race day condition, so at least we have that going for us. The breakaway of 11 riders have a pretty healthy gap of nearly 5 minutes, and we hit the first cobbled sector. I do not make the list of top 10 favorites, but I'm not far away from that list. So maybe good enough to be top 15. I would say definitely good enough to be top 20. And the objective for the day is to finish in the top 30. Even though we don't have the team support, I feel like that should be a possibility. I've also picked up a bit of a sniffle, so it's actually fortunate that we do have that +1, all things considered. So far, it's just 1-star sectors. That's not going to help us out a whole lot in that process of eliminating competition and or even, putting myself in a position to win a sprint. We'd very much like to see a bit more wear and tear on the field as we head for another 1-star sector. Like I said, it's going to have to be a bit more challenging than this if it's going to set us up for a high finish. But either way, I know I'm very capable of finishing in the top 30 with a 71-80 in the sprinting department. Even if it was just flat all the way in a big bunch sprint, it's not hard to get top 30 as a stage racer. I think we can at least complete the objective for the day, but how high we get, I think is going to depend a little bit on this race being a lot harder than it is right now. I mean, we've already pulled back more than a minute on that large break riding slow. And it's one 1-star after another. 1-star, 1-star, 1-star. It's all ones, ones, ones. All right, we're starting to get into the later phases of this 2.5 minute gap now to that breakaway. We pulled back another minute on them, but they definitely sped up. So they are starting to wear themselves out. Meanwhile, comparing myself with my teammates, there's not much of an advantage at this point in terms of, green bar effort. My teammates have expended ever so slightly more energy than me outside of, say, Rue, who's got a nice, healthy +4 to his race day condition. But we are heading into multiple cobbled sectors, one after another. But it seems to be the string of 1-star, 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 1-star sectors is continuing at this stage, meaning that whole advantage that I have is not an advantage. And been without water for a while here. I've got a teammate who's supposedly bringing it up, but up here all alone at the front of the field, the rest of the team just hanging back, chilling today. They're just in for a casual ride. Nobody seems to care. There's no teammate assignments. There's no Baradur assignments. They're all just here, cruising home for the day. Still no water. There it is, finally. And another 1-star, very brief sector, and another. A little bit longer that time, but it's all 1-stars, so it's just not putting much damage into the field. However, we are at that point where the length of this race, more than the pace or the difficulty, has started to kick off a little bit, has started to take its wear and tear, and you can see how that little advantage that I had in terms of green bar over my teammates is starting to show off in that pace right now is high enough that some of the guys are dropping off what their maximums are anyway, but we're also seeing those maximums start to fall off as you're at that stage. But I too am about to enter that phase right now where we're going to see those maximums fall off a little bit. 40k to go, still trying to chase down the 11 riders in the break. We have pulled back yet another minute over the last 20K or so, which means with 40K to go, you figure, yeah, we're going to pull them back. But minute and a half is still a decent advantage for them. You know, at that rate, we're not pulling them back very quickly. And big acceleration. And the peloton down to 42 at the moment. And we're seeing a little breakaway here. And it'd be nice if we could focus on ourselves, not somebody else. Thank you. 9 riders clear, 25 riders chasing. Yeah, race is on all of a sudden. 33K to go. Those 9 riders, there wasn't an attack. It was just a little opening. I want to say it was in front of me, but I want to say that it was also, you know, like that situation where it was actually in front of the Ineos rider. But that is 23 clear. That's 52 chasing. Race is definitely on. And you can see my teammates, unlike myself, they are very much feeling it. But our maximum is starting to drop off. 27K, I think we're going to be fine. 71 riders. I do need to try to make my way back towards the front of this field. And the 11 riders at the front, they've opened the gap. We've seen a huge acceleration, and yet those 11 have somehow pulled further away. I'm not sure how they opened up an extra 20 seconds when we are going kind of full gas here. And you can see trying to get myself forward right now is putting some wear and tear, and I feel like I've gone backwards with 85 Everett and a 75 flat. Not the best pace here to be trying to scoot forward. Down to 3 of us here in the peloton, and again, not able to scoot forward at this tempo. So we're gonna have to push on a little bit harder, because I'm very much at the back end of this group of 53. And the race continues to be on. 20K, and we only pulled back 30 seconds on those 11 riders, and pushing. I mean, we disintegrated the peloton, and yet somehow those 11 have remained away. Are we going to catch them? Down to 40 now. I find it very odd that those 11 have been this strong, have stayed away this long. Now we're down to 34. And, you know, the breakaway haven't dropped any riders. That's the other weird thing. We are pushing like crazy. We are barely catching up on them. We've lost 80% of the peloton, or 70% of the peloton at least. And yet the breakaway is fully intact. All 11 riders still there, still riding together, and still staying away. We're almost done with the cobbled sectors. But this is getting iffy. There they are. Or is that a lapped group? I'm thinking that's them. Finally, 1 rider dropped. And look at that. I stopped pushing, and I'm starting to drift backwards right away. I mean, I've got a good flat rating, and we are not catching these guys. There's a few riders going clear, joining that breakaway. So there's about, well, I don't know if we caught them. I think that was just the 1 rider off the back of the break. I don't think those guys ended up getting away. 9K to go. I'm feeling it. Ruin Dujardin are definitely, they're done. And we're down to 28. 8K. And again, I'm going backwards right now. I've been going backwards for the last few turns, the last kilometer or so. I've lost a very strong position and gone backwards, even though it wasn't blinking red at all. And now we're having to make an extra effort to try to get back into position. That was peculiar that it did that when I wasn't even blinking red, and nobody was attacking. You know, it's one thing to lose a couple wheels. It's another to lose ground on like 30 guys. We were 5th position, and all of a sudden we were about 30th position, so I guess 25 is a better. 3K to go, and I've got very little left in the tank, but our top 30 looks secure. There's still 4 riders that have not been caught, though, as we go through the final cobble sector with 1.6K to go. I do not have enough to attack a full kilometer out. We're going to have to wait kind of late here, and we do. 4 riders going for the win. The breakaway hangs on. How in the world have they done that? They're going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to fight for the line for what would have been the win, but is a missing out on the top 5. 6th place though, fantastic result. Overall, still very, very good. I do not understand where those front 11, were they all on +5s? The whole group? Except for maybe the guy who fell off just a hair earlier. Was he a +4? How that group held on. And, you know, look at the names, the 4 names. Those aren't stars, not one of them. How in the world those guys hung on when the peloton disintegrated to the point where there are 16 left. And of those 16, 2, 3, 4 of those were the last breakaway riders we caught. So really, it was 12 or 13 riders. The entire peloton. 12 or 13 survive, chasing down a minute 36 and didn't catch those guys who were away the entire day. And, you know, the peloton disintegrated. Whew. I don't know how those guys managed to hang on like that. Gotta give it to them. I mean, hell of a ride from those guys. That would have been a podium if not for that factor. Okay, so this is not a race built for us, but I had to. I just had to come. You gotta be kidding me. No luck. They want me to finish in the top 50. I saw that much. I didn't see the rest. Expected race day condition +3. We end up on a 0. I do have a set of +1s at least, almost across the board, but that +3 could have gone a long, long way to put me into the low 70s for a mountain rating on a race that needs it. Is this a breakaway? It is breakaway. Okay, well, let's get out there. Let's get in that break, see what we can do. The -3 draw, destroying whatever chance we were going to have of getting a decent result today, but we could at least get into that breakaway and have some fun with it. 9 riders +1, and it looks like we're going to be caught by the field here in a moment, so we're going to have to attack again momentarily, and now it's time to go. Gap definitely a lot bigger than before, nearly a minute ahead of the field, now a minute ahead. And we've reeled in the front guys, so now it's a front 5. And we're going to push on. 3 more about to bridge that gap to us. And now it's 8. 1 more behind us. We're similar numbers to before, but apparently there was 1 key rider before that they didn't like. They don't mind now. Or it's the same guys, and this time they just were like, whatever. Screw it. Alright, starting to back off here, it looks like. And onto the climb. First climb of the day. Little double climb here early on, and then 2 mega climbs later on, with 1 little minor saddle section at the top of the first. Pace has really picked up here in the peloton, which means we in the breakaway have also picked up the pace here in the last 10 kilometers or so. Gap's already down to a minute 40 with 65k to go. Now I got myself hanging on to the back end of the group, trying to conserve a little bit of energy and not quite commit to the full strength, but you're seeing a lot of the guys are now kind of backing off because we're not all committing. So I think we're already kind of giving up hope, but backing off a little bit, and more guys are ready to commit once again. That tempo was just a bit too high there. We're down to just over a minute. Now, the breakaway was one of those late breakaway, not from kilometer 0, as we've already dropped off a rider here. So to get the objective in, it had to be within the final 100k. And that means we've got to get to the 50k mark just to reach the objective. Plus you need an additional, quarter of that, so 13, an additional 13, so we're gonna have to hang on for another 16k with only a 1 minute advantage. And this climb is about that long. I'm not sure we're gonna be capable of doing that terribly well, but if we just kind of push on at whatever tempo we can kind of manage here. Yeah, that actually opened the gap up I made that little push and it's out to a minute and a half. Back off again. Ease off, staying there a little bit longer. That got us at least to the 100%. Getting that 125 is going to be a lot harder. That gap again is shrinking, and I'm dropping riders. We're down to 6. A lot of guys here who can't climb, not just myself. Water, final time. That'll get me to the end. I'm not the only one pushing on now, but it looks like Lynch and I are the only ones left pushing on. And we're down to 5, down to 4. 20-second advantage, and we've been caught by the peloton. Setting up. Down to 89 here. 10K short of the objective, and not a lot of energy right now to try to push on and reestablish a new breakaway. So we're going to have to, well, go with it and see you later. We got 100%, but not a 125. That's okay. That's also going to do it energy-wise. I mean, you can see I'm already falling off here. I think if I had that +3, it would have been enough to at least get the 125. I still don't think we're competing for a win in any way, shape, or form. Not happening, but it was fun while it lasted. Let's go ahead and move on to the next race, huh? Occitanie, and we are in the first stage. And they want me to go for the points classification, which I love because that's actually what I wanted to go for. Stage 3 is a big mountain stage, and I don't think we're going to compete terribly well for that. So we're looking to get after points. Now, in this, they don't necessarily specify which points classification to go for. I think the King of the Mountains is a little bit easier one with our punchiness versus our sprint capability. I think a pure sprinter is going to do better off in those 2 sprint stages and gather the necessary points, but we may try to get involved in both of the points classifications, at least in this first stage. Now, unfortunately, I started a bit towards the back, still have not quite gotten myself forward, and we could be seeing a break already established well before we get up there, which is a bit of a worry. Right now, it's only 4 riders away, though, so that's increasing those chances that I could actually make it, and we do finally find a gap, and now get into that escape mode. See if we can't get away. Don't tell me to reel in the breakaway. I'm going to get in the breakaway. 20 seconds over the field. Continuing to chase on hard to see if we can get on the back of these guys. They are pulling back. They apparently don't like having me off the front. But if I could maybe bridge this gap here as we enter the climb. So 95 now with my hills rating. I should catch up to those guys fairly quickly. I do. Will the field set up? No, they do not. And actually those 2 guys blocked me off there for a little bit. So now it's 2 riders that are clear. Still plenty of points on offer for this one. I'm going to have to attack soon, but trying to recover red bar at the moment, sitting on the front while those 2 escape further and further and further away. Yeah, not helping. It's already 1 minute. Let's go ahead and try again. Will they let me get clear if it's 3 riders? Alright, use up that red bar and now push on. Effort 95. 46 seconds very quickly over the field. So yes, I have been able to escape. Gap continuing to open. We'll climb at our fast tempo to try to bridge this gap to these 2 and kind of push right on, see if we can't collect the points, as they have already gone very deep themselves, or at least the guy who's in second position, who we are now just 16 seconds behind. We will get a chance to recover as we are right about 2 minutes over the field now, and we have caught up. We're going to sit on for a little bit, try to recover. Can I? No, but the back guy is dropped, and we're getting just a little bit of red bar as we approach the top, and he's still doing all the work and has been for a while, so we can hopefully get over the top first. Or he's going to just leave me in the dust. Soft attack, please. Thank you. I'm punchy. I am punchy. Heart attack now. Heart attack. Heart attack. 190. Yeah. Wasn't a hard attack, but it was a heart attack that it gave me on that one. We do go over the top second, though. That's absolutely worth some points. Huge gap over the guy who sits third, so we've got a 2-man escape. Miss out on 2 points there. no surprise with how far we had to chase him, and he was conserving some energy. You could clearly see the difference in quality between the two as we were approaching the top. Oh, not difference in quality, the difference in remaining energy, as no shoulder bobbing for him, and the other guy was looking ridiculously strong. Not given the effort right now because, again, I did a really hard chase to get up here. We will begin contributing soon enough, but that recovery is not even happening as he's still trying to establish the break. The third man has been caught. He doesn't want to contribute, so we are going to have to now if we're going to stay away. I don't know why the field is still intent on making this difficult. There's only 2 riders off the front. I'm clearly not a threat. Or am I? Apparently I'm a threat. Such a threat that the peloton is chasing really hard. Minute 20 advantage. We are just about maintaining. And I'm just about getting help. But not really. He says he wants to help, but he has not taken a turn in 20k or something. And I only sat on for, 5. Nothing left, but we've got a descent coming. I'd rather take second over the line than get caught by the peloton. One rider has gone clear. I'm not sure who that might be. Get some water. 4k to go to that sprint point. And now we've been caught. Bad timing. 2k to go. No energy. Oh, the peloton has caught us just like that. Attacking now. 1k. Oh, I can't attack. I can't attack! Ay, ay, ay. 1k to go to the sprint point. I do escape barely off the front. And we are going to go across first. 6 points. We're in the competition. Will I open a gap? Solo. Would they let me go? They will not. Go ahead and sit up. He's not waiting for me. Nor is he. And nor do I have energy to ride with those guys. So everybody's attacking me and letting me go. We're going to have to just sit up and ride with the peloton now. We've got some points. Sit up, conserve, and see what we can do about getting involved on that next one for, say, 4 points. Peloton now sitting up. Letting those guys go. Sitting up in a way that they never sat up before. Can we open the gap? Can we catch them? I doubt it. Right now, I could push a little bit harder and still recover. Nope, caught by the peloton. They picked up their pace. Rough go of things. They do not like having me off the front. Took everything we had to get the points that we got. Peloton kind of let us go over that initial climb. The moment they got to the top, they picked up that tempo and started chasing us down. And of course, it took everything I had to open the gap over the climb. And I'm now recovered, but it's a 3-minute gap to those front 3. So the sprint is going to be meaningless, but that Cat 2 is something I could absolutely compete for. Now, I've already gone really deep. We're about to dip into our maximum, and we're only at the halfway point of the stage, which means, being honest with ourselves, even with a +5, there is no way that I'm going to be around at the finish line. I'm not going to be competing for this stage win after the effort that we have made today, even though we just saw an impossible break hang on, right? Those 11 guys, or at least 4 of those 11 guys. But here's the thing about that one. That was 11 guys. I essentially made solo effort for half this stage. I had very, very few kilometers of support from that other guy. Now, we are in a position now where we could attack early on this climb. But how early is the decision to make, because the peloton is pushing relatively hard. I want those KOM points. Absolutely. But picking the timing as we're catching those 3 relatively fast, picking the timing on this one is going to be important. We're going to obviously want to use a 95 and go full punch when the time comes. We can see right now just keeping up is already causing me to go fairly deep. 5K to go to the top, and we are very much coming back at those 3. We've got a real chance, potentially, at getting maximum points on this, as those 3 are looking, well, weak. Inside 3K, 50 seconds to the front 3. We sat up a bit. 1K to go. Full gas. Attack, 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 attack. 4th place. It's enough for the KOM lead at the moment. I am now a breakaway rider. Can I get with these guys and get up there? Make it a front 6. Minute 15 ahead. Come on, come on. 14 seconds. 14 seconds. Get down. Okay, we're on. Get water. Now get recovered. One task at a time. Others are contributing. There's enough of us. Gap's out to 2 minutes. I still have a chance to go for this sprint point if I can recover a little bit. Now, at this stage, I'm thinking about that last KOM because, you know, there's still that whole thing about we're at 1.5, 1.4. Attack, 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 attack. Got it, got it, got it. Now recover. Recover for the next climb. No effort. Just recover. Be greedy. Be greedy. Only a minute over the field, and they're coming back at us. And we wanted to contribute anymore, so we are caught. But we are in recovery mode, setting ourselves up for the go at the next climb, because I just do not have the strength capability, the recovery to go for that final. But I can tell you now, we're not going to be competitive for that one. So I want to be competitive for the penultimate one to get those KOM points, to have that leader's jersey going into stage number 2. 11K to go to the top. The whole peloton is here other than one rider out the back and some yo-yoing at the moment, but I'm getting that little recovery now on this descent, setting ourselves up for the climb to come. If there's an attack, we obviously want to go with it, as we are committing to this climb and not the final one. If we happen to have enough to stay away, that is beautiful, that is wonderful, but that is likely to be... Okay, scooting forward as we're already inside 3K. Inside 3K, inside 3K, and use my last little bit to get off front. What the heck? Hello, I hit sprint. I hit sprint and I had a fair amount of red bar. Not a ton, but I had enough to, you know, get 2 bike lengths. I got like 1 pedal stroke and then of course as I was trying to change the attack percentage I was trying to set myself up to, you know, we're going to have to just kind of effort up and go to the front and try to lead over with nobody actually making an effort. Come on. Come on. 600 meters. Well, it's going to go over the top first, but if we can, you know, at least go over the top among the 4 or 5, 2 points. 2 points. Wow. Alright. Well, like I said last time, it was fun while it lasted. Actually, we do have the KOM lead at this stage, and I'm assuming this is another Cat 2 at the finish line. Yes. 10 points available. Recover. Do what we can, but I can tell you already, it's not looking so good for this final run-in. We are down to 30. But you can see just on the flat, I am struggling to keep up because of how deep we've gone. Grelier, he's got a +5, so he's looking good. Rodriguez is the leader. He's the actual mountain-rated guy. He's the overall focus of the stage. And no. Easy. 3K to go to the finish line. And yeah, this is us going backwards and not having the energy to keep up with these front guys. And the peloton's back together again as we approach the finish line. And even conserving on that one did not work out too well for us, as we ultimately ran out of energy well before the finish line anyway. And it was looking good for a moment of like, oh hey, look, top 30. Oh wait, no, top 90. 68th. Grelier got 7th, so you know, at least there was that. Will we get some bonus XP? By the way, 9 experience points away from leveling up. We'll see if we did it. Points classification, I am 5th, so we are in the mix for that one as well. And I do have the KOM lead, a 4-point cushion over 4 other riders who went over the top of climbs first. All 4 climbs of the day, right? I don't think I ever went over first. 2 points for the jersey. 2. I haven't won it yet. There's 4 stages in this race. But you would have thought I would have gotten more than 2 points for that. Actually, kind of thought I would have had 9 points for the day. But hey, we're on our way. We're on our way. 7 to go. 3 stages to go. We will get it over the course of this race. And we will be focusing on that jersey and maybe the other jersey as well. Top 5 in that one. Irrelevant. No 2 points for that. And our manager satisfaction has disappeared yet again. We were up to 98%, but we only had 1 race over the course of the last month, and the natural decay has seen that falling right back off. So, and of course, we don't really work for the team anymore, as we've been writing for ourselves. That's not going to help much either. But 98% is 98%, but a month of decay, and here we are. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.